Hi, it's Stephen Sand with the Nashville Home Guys. And we wanted to talk to you a little bit about the listing process. When you're getting ready to sell your home, we do it a little bit differently. So we're going to give you the Nashville Home Guys method of the whole listing process.
Exactly. No matter if you're 3 months out, 6 months out, a year out from selling, it's always better to be prepared. And we're always here to answer questions. Come look at your house. Again, no matter how far out in the future that you're selling. So with that in mind, let's go to the first step of the process, which is what we identify as the pre-listing period. So this is from when we come to look at your house till obviously the time that we list it.
And so the first step in that would be for us to arrange a meeting. And so that Sam and I can come out and look at your house and see if there's might be some things, because you're living in the house, you're not trying to sell it. And that's what we do. So maybe there are some things that we can see or suggest that really need to be done before we put it on the market, so that when the property hits the market, it is a curbside smash, as well as being a great place on the inside.
Absolutely. And these things don't have to be big. I mean, small things like mulching, pressure washing, decluttering, they have a big impact on the marketability of your home and how the buyers can see themselves in your home.
Yeah.
So then after we've seen your property and suggested these improvements, we will go back and we will actually compare your property to recently sold homes in your neighborhood or in your close vicinity of similar size and finish, and come back and provide you with a listing price that we feel you should go with. So this is a conversation. So, it's not our way or the highway. We can talk about financial goals and show you just the data of how we came to that conclusion and kind of go from there.
Yeah. And then we'll also bring with us the listing paperwork. There's quite a few legal documents that are all required in listing a person's home. As well as a Tennessee residential property condition disclosure, which the seller has to fill out about everything he knows about the house. Then we will complete the pre-market home improvements, and we'll show you that in just a minute, how we go about doing that.
Yep.
And then we'll, living in your home is not the same as selling, so we may suggest changes inside your house.
Staging a home could be as simple as decluttering. It can be as simple as moving some of your furniture around. We also have some of our own staging materials if we need to do that. So it is something that we do and we love doing, just to, again, get that buyer pulled into the home and to envision themselves living there, to make it as open, as free as possible. The next thing that we really pride ourselves on that I believe the Nashville Home Guys has a huge difference is that my dad is a photographer. So we actually take our own photos and edit those ourselves. And then I do videography. So professional video walkthroughs, drone videography, drone photos. We do all of that in-house for all of our listings. The drone can sometimes add value if you have property. Some other times it's not the best application, but regardless, you will get a video walkthrough of your home when you list with us.
And those are important tools for us to start pre-market teasers across all social media. So that really helps us to start building an audience. We not only put it on the Benchmark agent website, which Benchmark now has a 25% market share of the Middle Tennessee market. So we know that we're putting it in front of the right people there. Facebook, Instagram, Google. We will make sure that the message you're putting your house on the market is going to be soon. So we usually start those things 3 days before we actually put the house on the market.
And we have sold several properties off of social media alone. So we do feel like we were pretty effective in pre-marketing a house.
And that's without a sign in the yard.
That's without a sign in the yard. So this is what an example marketing plan will look like from the Nashville Home Guys. It's just a quick sheet that tells what task needs to be done by who. So you'll see NHG is the Nashville Home Guys. We have a listing goal date, and there will be dates down by each one of these, so everybody knows what their part is in this whole process, and there's no ambiguity around who needs to do what. Right. So the next step is time to list.
Time to put the sign in the yard. So we'll put it on Real Tracks right away. We'll continue our social media advertising. And really, statistics show that it's best to list your house on a Thursday or Friday, as potential buyers are planning to what they're going to go see over the weekend. So we hate to put it out there Monday and then it'd be forgotten about when people are trying to look around for what they want to go see in the weekend. So I think the percentage is 90% of all houses listed on a Thursday or Friday sell faster than any other day of the week.
Correct. Yeah. And we also email blast your listing out to our sphere of influence, our current clients, past clients, just so that, everybody that we are in touch with knows that your house is coming up on the market in case they have somebody or they themselves want to look at your house. We also pay for HomeSnap advertising, which if you're looking for a house in Middle Tennessee, download HomeSnap. We'll have a link in the bio to a download link. But it is the most accurate search engine in Nashville, or Middle Tennessee rather. But we also pay HomeSnap, and they take all of our listings and they advertise it across Instagram and Facebook, which also helps generate leads off of your own listing. So that is another very, very valuable resource that we do for all of our listings.
And so on that first Sunday, after we put it up on Thursday or Friday, we'll do an open house and let everybody come and see it. And that's usually because of the pre-marketing that we do, those are usually very well attended.
Correct. And, no matter what agent you go with, just a quick tip, make sure that they have a clear marketing plan on how they're going to pre-list your property or pre-market your property, list your property, and follow up.
Right.
So the next step is the first month that your house is on the market. Now, hopefully it won't last that long, but depending on just where they are, they can stay a little bit longer than a month. So in that first month, we're going to monitor the showings, and we're also going to collect feedback from the agents that show your property. And a lot of times agents don't like to leave feedback for whatever reason. I know we're all busy, but we will do our best to hunt down that feedback from those agents that show your property.
Our social media efforts will absolutely continue. And on the second week, if we feel like it was good the first time, we'll do a second open house. And then we'll continue to discuss the feedback over every week, because some of those things, I don't know, we may hear of something that we didn't see or we didn't think was important, and maybe it's showing up and we have to make an adjustment that way.
Absolutely. So then the next step is a 4-week review. We'll review all showings and open house feedback to see if there is a theme that goes across all of them that we can change or address. We'll review the quantity of showings. If we haven't had any showings in the past week or 2 weeks, that means that typically we need to change something, whether it be price or maybe something inside the house, the condition.
There
We'll
are
also yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. There are 3 things that sell a house: price, condition, and location. So those are the first 3 things that we'll take a look at to see what we're hearing.
Absolutely. And then also we'll review any pertinent market information. As you guys know, there's a lot going on this year, especially in the real estate housing market. So we have tools where we can look at a particular zip code or neighborhood and just see what the trends are over the past 30 days. Maybe if you're right on the cusp of a price point, let's say you're at $515,000, we can see, if we drop to $499 or something like that, that might get a much higher percentage of the total showings in that particular market. And so these are all tools that we have at our disposal, and we can make these decisions after we've been on the market for a little bit.
Yeah, then we just continue those conversations and suggestions and move forward.
Awesome.
Hopefully it doesn't take that long.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't take that long. Usually it doesn't.
We're under contract. Oh my goodness. Yay.
Yeah. Nice. So obviously, the first step when we get an offer is that we negotiate to obtain the best sales price, obviously, but there might be other things that are important to you, like close date, or will you need to rent back the home from the buyer after closing so that you can find your next house to move into. So sales price is one aspect of the negotiation, but obviously you have certain needs and certain goals that you need to hit, and our job is to negotiate to try to hit those things.
Yeah. Next step would be that the buyers will get us their earnest money within 72 hours, showing their commitment to move forward with the contract. Then they will do an inspection, probably within the first 7 or 10 days. And that's paid for by the buyers. You don't have to do that. Once that's done, they will give us a repair request list. We'll all take a look at that. Well, another point of negotiation is those repairs. So we'll do our best to be your advocate in what really needs to be addressed and what really probably doesn't need to be addressed.
Absolutely. And another thing about the inspection too is just know that those usually take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. And so during that inspection time frame, just plan to be out of your house so that the inspector can work, and so that the buyers can discuss what the inspector found. Then after the negotiated repairs are all taken care of, the bank will then order an appraisal, and an appraiser will come out, and that is also paid for by the buyer, and they will assess the value of what the buyer is paying for it. And then, if that appraisal comes back favorable, then
Get yourself some
it is.
packing tape and boxes because you're going to be moving.
Yeah, most likely you're going to be moving, so it's time to start packing. Which leads us into the next step.
Time to close. So the buyer will come in about 1 to 2 days before you actually close. They'll make sure that all the repairs were done. They want to make sure that there's been no changes to the interior of the home or to the outside. And then the next step is going to the title company to close. And most likely, probably 99% of all the transactions are closed. The seller has his own title attorney, and the buyers have their own title attorney. So we probably won't close at the same place, just so everybody has their team together.
Absolutely. And the buyers have their closing expenses that they're responsible for. The seller has their closing expenses that they're responsible for. And we will obviously go over those with you in detail when we meet with you, and provide you with a net sheet and everything that you'll get from your sale. But typically those include prorated taxes, title expense, some legal fees, and then commissions to the listing realtors, and then also to the selling realtors. And then if the closing is after 3 p.m., the funds usually move the next day. So essentially, if you're closing on a Monday, and if you can get all parties signed and the paperwork swapped by 2 p.m., then you should see the funds the same day because wires are still moving.
And then it's all about the buyer taking occupancy of the home. There are a couple of things that could change about that. Like if maybe your new house isn't quite done yet, but we may ask to have you temporarily live in your old house and pay rent so that your house can get completed and move. And then, oh my, congratulations, because we have made it through the process. You've won, and you're moving into a new house. All right, perfect.
Yes.
That's the way it goes.
And if you have any questions, give us a call or email. And then we also have a seller's guide on our website that we will also have linked in the description as well, with a ton of great information also.
And we're also going to put the link for the HomeSnap app, so you guys can take a look at that. That feeds right off of what we use, RealTrack. If you're thinking about buying or selling a house, give the Nashville Home Guys a call.
We will get you moving.
We will do that for sure.